Hi, Christie Coaching here. Today I want to talk about the circle of possibility. This is from Legacy Leadership Retreat, and it's the work of Heather Steele. This starts off in coaching that there is a circle of possibility and that anything is possible. Anything a client wants to accomplish is possible. So you want to get people thinking in terms of possibilities instead of what they have or what they don't have. So if you want to go ahead and play along with this, get a piece of paper. You draw a big circle on that piece of paper, and then you draw 4 lines on each side outside of that circle. So the circle in the middle is your circle of possibility. So inside are all of the things that you already have. Outside are the things that you actually want. The circle of possibility starts with the premise that every child is born in possibility. So every single person we work with has a possibility for greatness regardless of your circumstances, regardless of your money, regardless of your education, regardless of anything. So every single child is born into possibility as long as one thing happens. And the one thing that needs to happen is that child needs to have contact with one other human when they're born. So if that happens, then there's a chance for them. We are all profoundly connected, and so when we experience pain or fear, we can also experience disconnection and disillusionment or isolation. When we're in possibility, we can create our dreams. So this is where we want to keep everyone connected together and in possibility and thinking, what is available to me? So now we have that circle. So inside the circle is the things that we have. Outside the circle and those different lines are the things that we actually want. And so these can be small things. I want more time with my family. I want a little bit more money. I want a good vacation. I want anything that you want to put in there. And then we can also go to bigger, grander things. So what do you want for your life? You want a new house, a new car, you want a soulmate, you want your own business, you want a child. These things can get bigger and bigger. Then it can go on, that you want to help the world, you want to help your city, you want to help do something. These possibilities go beyond that. So we can start off just what was tangible and what makes sense to us, but then it keeps growing from there. So we're all just in possibility. So it's just about what's happening. So we want to list what's possible outside the circle. So it's the things that we don't have. We ask questions about these dreams. Why don't we have them? If you want a new house, why don't you have the house? And then what's the steps that you need to make this connection happen? What's the steps you need to take to create that new house? So we'll just keep working with that one. And in this integration work, this is when people start to share with you their fears. They start to share with you their limited beliefs. They start to share with you what's holding them back. So you don't really listen to exactly why they're saying it, because everybody has a really good excuse. Oh, I don't have a house because I live in Jackson, Wyoming, and houses here are over $1 million and whatever, there's always excuses. So you want to go for the deeper thing. What's behind that excuse? What's underneath that? So go deeper. And then this is where you start using the tools from Legacy Leadership Training. So once you start getting into that integration work and they start sharing about your emotional, mental, relationship, and environmental blocks, once they start sharing with that, then you start bringing in some of the tools we've learned to deal with that. So again, just to recap what the circle of possibility is, it's actually very, very simple and it's an easy concept, but it'll give you a lot of mileage on figuring out some really good insight into what's going on with either yourself or your clients. So you want to look at what's possible, which is outside the circle, the things that you don't have now. Ask questions about why you don't have them and go deep with these questions. So it's not just why you don't have them, but really deeper. There's more to that. That's just the first question. Keep digging. And then you go to into all then there's all these different steps that you can go to. So you use all the tools that you have, and you keep people in possibilities, because where you put your intention is where your action goes. And where you put your intention it's the world that you live in. You can find all kinds of advice or all kinds of evidence for your point of view. And so we want to keep your point of view in possibilities. We want to keep it out here in the peripheral and keep it going and moving forward. So just to recap, every child is born into possibilities. And then if you can create one success, you can create another. So if you start off something small, I want a new car. And then you make that happen and you get all of that going. Then you're like, oh, I made that happen so easily. Let's step it up and let's do the house then. And then you step into that. So if your future isn't clearly defined, then we can't see it. We can't move into it. So it's really, really important to get your future defined and make sure that you know where you're going and at least have a vision for that. So we don't want to we won't transform the experience of our past until instead we stay in old patterns. And so we want to get out of these old patterns. So this is what we're talking about. This is the why don't you have what you want already. And then if you have drama in your life, your dream is blocked by these emotional blocks. And a lot of times we don't know what those are. We don't know how to figure those out on with ourselves. So there's emotional blocks, there's mental blocks, there's out of integrity habits. And a lot of times we're so immersed in those that we don't even see them. So it's really good to do this work with a coach, or it's kind of hard to do it on yourself unless you have actually been trained, which the legacy students have been trained, so we can move forward with that. But you want to do it more and bigger, and if you're really serious about this, then you do it with someone else and you get some help so people can see your blind spots. People can see what is holding you back and is keeping you from these giant goals. So get with a coach and work on the legacy circle of possibility. Thank you. Live your life on purpose.